but in the cab journey
first
over.
leg, Richard to throw first. Game on!
And then in the bar last night, over a Diet Coke or two, he just simply did not let up.
Well, his nickname is Northy, which is definitely among the plethora of nicknames that we have with a Y on the end, like, you know, the Walshies, which is an IE, admittedly.
60.
Chizzy. So come on, Richard, you've got to think of something better than Northy. But yeah, he's a bit of a talker, and he talks a good game.
Yeah, didn't really do his talking with an opening 30, but he finds a treble at last there.
He does, however, bring a little bit of form into this tournament. He has done well this year. Got through Q School, which he did say to me he expected to do. He came out after that and said his goal by the end of the year was the top 32.
Yeah, saw that.
And I thought, maybe slightly ambitious, but it just goes to show
84.
what he feels he's capable of and where he wants to be.
Well, a player who is more likely to be in the top 32 is Rob Cross, who also, of course, earned his tour card this year in very different means. And, you know, Rob Cross is obviously the newbie that everybody is talking about, but it was Richard North who accounted for Rob Cross in qualifying, beating the number 8 seed 6-3 in the final round in Milton Keynes.
45.
Well, Rob Cross was the final game of qualifying for him, and before that he took out the very talented left-hander Callum Luce from the Manchester area, and Scott Taylor, he beat 6-0 in the first game.
And only one leg down against Callum Luce as well. So impressive in qualifying to secure his debut.
It is, however, a little bit different on the stage. I know that we've talked many a time about first big stage nerves, but the thing is, you do need experience, and that's one thing Mickey Mansell has a lot of. Mickey's played World Cup darts with Brendan Dolan. He's had that green shirt on, played with pride and done very well at the World Cup, I will add.
Richard, you require 102.
Form-wise, you'd probably have to go with Richard North ever so slightly, but we'll see what he can do with this 102. Treble 14 was the target for double top.
94.
But now he forces Mickey Mansell to take this 106.
Yeah, he certainly does. He was the slight favourite, Richard North, coming into this one 5-4 on there or thereabouts. Mansell at 10-11. But Mansell with a chance to break here, 86 away. I won't be going now.
Richard will have a sigh of relief right now, just saying, okay,
Richard, you require
the one thing
8.
that will settle me down more than anything else is a nice, crisp double 4. That's not bad. That's much better.
First leg. Richard
Yeah, that'll settle him down
second leg, begin to throw first.
nicely indeed. It was for a holder throw. Mansell didn't really apply a great deal of pressure with his visit there when he was waiting on 106 or when he was on 106. But North responded well in kind. And yeah, the bookies seem to have this one flagged up as a fairly close run thing. 4-5 plays 10-11. I think they've got that one pretty much right. They got it horribly wrong in the first match, of course. Peter Hudson was the second favourite in that one against Brendan Dolan. So Mickey Mansell looking to keep the flag flying here for Northern Ireland with a win in the second match of the day. The winner of this, by the way, will face Mervyn King, the number 16 seed in the second round tomorrow. King is back among the seeds here this weekend. He seems to be flip-flopping at the moment. Partially aided, I have to say, by the circumstances surrounding Gerwyn Price, who forgot to register. But it's Richard North registering a 180 there.
Well, I mentioned that a double 4 would calm him down, but when he hit a 180, that does exactly the same. He looks very fidgety for me, Richard North. It's like he doesn't know what to do in between throws. It's something that you guys out there who want to get better and guys who want to take up darts, you don't just have to throw, you have to get used to not throwing as well. Have to find some comfort behind your opponent, even if it's just for 5 or 6 seconds, or potentially when you're playing a slow player, up to 15 seconds.
Yeah, I suppose the thing is, when you're practicing on your own, you can keep that momentum going, can't you? You have that metronomic nature about your arm, and when you do have 10-15 seconds to wait, it can, I assume, knock you off your stride, especially when you're just waiting around at the back of the stage and you're trying to occupy your time.
That's right, and it's accentuated, of course, with World Cup darts where they play pairs. You might not come back to the board for another 3 throws, so you've got to find some comfort next to that table, find a routine, and that's something that comes with experience, and that's exactly what Mickey Mansell wants to input into this 78 left for 2 darts. Double 12. Oh, he's gone next door.
Yeah,
So he gives Richard North a chance.
Richard, you require 180.
Yeah, double 3 is an awkward one. If Mansell does return, North would absolutely relish this one. 98 away. No, it won't go now.
44.
And he's angry with himself about that last dart as well. Might not matter in the final reckoning if Mansell takes out this double 3. He'd split it anyway.
Game shown, second leg.
2 double 2.
Mickey Mansell, third leg.
Safety first from Mickey Mansell.
Well,
Happy to sacrifice the dart there.
Yeah, 2 double 2 is just as good as hitting double 3 with 1 dart. Really, really good. And it shows confidence as well, because he didn't even look at the double 3. Look at the way that Mickey Mansell was approaching the hockey. He didn't even entertain the idea of going for double 3. He knew what he wanted to do, and he executed the plan perfectly.
41.
If you can't stand when Richard North is talking, he is quite funny. Especially when he's talking Andy Jenkins. There's a bit of banter there, because they're from the same area. So funny this morning, though. He comes to breakfast, I'm sitting there with cereal and a cup of peppermint tea, and then you join me, Rob Malarkey, and we're talking about the election.
100.
In walks Richard North and says, "Where's the fry-up?" You're in Germany, Richard. You've got to have
cheese and salami.
Something continental.
125.
Well, also, as well as Andy Jenkins, another man from the same constituency is Simon Whitlock, a player that Richard North has worked with quite a bit, practiced with him, and I think it was Whitlock who sort of encouraged him at the first outset to say, you know, I think you could go far here. You've got something. I think you should work at it. And it was the Wizard who sort of assured him that he was good enough to give it a go, and I think Whitlock has to take some of the credit for encouraging him in the right way. It will be interesting if North and Whitlock meet this weekend.
Very interesting indeed. And Simon's right, because Northie has got a great amount of ability in that right arm of his, and he don't make 2 consecutive quarterfinals in a Pro Tour weekend without having some sort of ability.
Yeah, and when he made those quarterfinals, he lost one of them to A.D. Lewis, 6-5, and the other one was against Peter Wright.
Richard North, full flag, begin to throw first.
And it starts like that. Tell you how good he is.
Well, he's settling down a bit. He's getting gradually better in this match, and he's putting the pressure on Mickey Mansell. So far, so good. For the man who, I dare to say, Rob, has a story with Simon Whitlock in relation to a cat.
I was going to save that for Dan Dawson, actually, because it was his nugget that he revealed last night. I feel bad taking it away from him.
Stay tuned, folks. If Richard North makes it through, you will hear the story about the cat.
Well, it's one man's adoption is another man's theft, I think, is the best way of summing it up.
Are we calling Simon Whitlock a charlatan? Stay tuned and find out for the next one. It's like Coronation Street or EastEnders here at the darts.
96.
Catnapping on the PDC. These two very much in the wider weight club at the moment, though, staying on their guard here because it's turning out to be a bit of a battle, this one, as we sort of predicted it would be.
60.
Well, Mickey's very hard to beat. He's quite deliberate with his action. He takes his time. He's quite languid with his strides. And nothing puts him off that rhythm.
95.
I say deliberate with Mickey Mansell because he does think about things very deeply. He's a very fit man, does a lot of cycling. And for the last 2 years, he's chosen not to go to the UK Open qualifiers because he just feels that he wants to put his full focus on Pro Tour darts and European tours. That's where he wants to play. Maybe he just doesn't like Minehead.
It has been said. But No, I can see the logic. I'm sure many people can see the
Mickey
logic in that.
require 116.
He's got two options here. It's going to be the 60 route for Mickey Mansell. It's a lovely guide for a second dart just underneath.
Oh, beautiful. Double 18 that he wants. Absolutely pinpoint from Mickey Mansell.
80.
Would have been a nice way to finish things off, but North here now has a gilt-edged opportunity to find that all-important break of throw for a 3-1 lead. 16th. Next door. It wasn't far away at all. Just has to slightly readjust here.
66.
And Mansell's got away with that one.
Get the feeling if that shot at double 16 was a little bit lower and still splitting the 16s, he would have just stayed there, but he was blocking the bed. No blocking the bed as of yet for double M. Will it be third dart?
18.
It won't, and Northie's coming back.
Well, he seemed to have a really good guide there with those first two darts, just to cushion it underneath a pair of them, but he overcompensated, and North is now looking at double 4. Very similar lie, actually. And this time North makes it count, and he does find the break, and he leads 3-1. No prospects of meeting Simon Whitlock, by the way, until the semi-finals. So we'll cross that particular bridge when we get to it, Paul, I think.
That'd be quite a debut, wouldn't it, making the semi-finals or better?
Well, it would be.
I think Northie's starting to settle down now. There are a few snatchy fives early in the match. A couple of them with darts he would definitely like to have back. But he's just a little bit in front of Mickey Mansell, and Mickey's going to have to put his pedal to the metal to get back into this match now.
Yeah, Richard North isn't the only debutant playing here this weekend, by the way. We've got Lee Bryant also making his European bow, and Eric Tautfest of Germany, who came through qualifying in the host nation eliminators last night, beating Bernd Reuth, amongst others, to secure his first appearance on the European Tour. Look out for him later on. I think he plays John Michael of Greece as well.
100.
Max Hopp coming through, as did his World Cup teammate Martin Schindler. Mike Holtz is here once again as well, Hamburg resident, and Hamburg born and bred. He'll be very popular with the home crowd here.
That almost sounded like hamburger born and bred. That'd make a pretty good sandwich. But we've also got Kenny Nairns this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm very, very excited to watch that young man play. He is very, very good.
Playing bunting as well, which, you know, the way that bunting's been playing of late, I think many people might be looking at that one as an upset in inverted commas, if you like.
I know Stephen will definitely not want that. But what a lovely setup from Richard North. Leaves 36, the double that Mickey Mansell could not hit in the last leg. And he can't take this leg out. Richard North could be 4-1 up here.
He could be.
100.
All of a sudden.
Richard, you require 36.
You know, there looked to be very little between them, but as you say, Richard North just seems to have found a little something extra here. Double 18 for a 4-1 lead.
Game shown.
And that's exactly what he's got.
Richard North, 6 leg making it throw first. Game on.
Yeah, he's acquitted himself well here so far. He's averaging over 90. Not too bad on the doubles either. And certainly just finding a little bit more
60.
now. On Mansell just seems to have tailed off there. We see the averages just partitioning further there.
I'm a big golf fan, as you know, Rob, and I watch a lot of the PGA Tour.
83.
And I'm not a fan of the golfers consistently calling their game solid. But I tell you what this is from Richard North, it's solid.
Yeah, and it's enough. I mean, that's what it is as well. It's more than enough at the moment.
100.
But he's not there yet, and you just wonder how, on his debut, he'll be feeling inside as he approaches the final leg, or what he hopes will be the final leg.
When you look at the angle of the darts going in from Richard North, it does remind me of Dave Chisnell. There's a big corkscrew of the dart through the air, a lot of spin, and he's got the same angle as Chizzy. So you've got to think, if he's got the same power in his arm as Dave has, then there's a lot of potential for scoring there.
There's like a bit of, with that spin, that rotation, it's almost like a bit of right-hand side, isn't there? You know, a bit of fade.
I tell you what, if we start getting fade, draw, and a googly
45.
into darts, then we really are pretty tricky dart players indeed. I think it's a very good angle when we look at this, because we see how they want to build their darts together to get 180s, to get 140s, and both of these guys here unquestionably want to just bunch them together underneath the first one.
83.
When Mickey was getting through qualifying, he took out Craig Gilchrist 6-3, and Michael Barnard also 6-3. And he looked in very fine fettle when he was walking on the stage, Mickey Mansell, but I tell you what, at the moment, Richard North is the man with the baton. Will he run forward with it? 2 treble 19s with a left double 18. He may come back, but it all depends on Mickey Mansell's visit here.
96.
Yeah, Mickey Mansell, a player that just seems to be trying to re-establish himself. He dropped out of the world's top 64, had to reapply for his golden ticket at Q School, which he managed to do
56.
earlier this year.
Richard, you require 97.
But he just seems to be lacking something here, I think. I can't really put my finger on it. He's not really been able to land any significant punches. He might get the opportunity, but then again he might not, because Richard North, once again looking increasingly assured on the doubles. And this is now a mountain to climb for Mickey Mansell. Just one appearance on the European Tour in 2016. That was a first round defeat in Hildesheim, losing to Justin Pipe, and it looks as though it will be a losing start to his European Tour campaign in 2017 as well.
How will Richard North feel now, being so close to victory? Started this leg with a treble 20, but didn't back it up. So it'll be interesting to see how he feels at this end of the match, having got 5 legs under his belt. I was at the airport with him yesterday. He was chattering away to Andy Jenkins, coming up to luggage, and I grabbed his bag, which you could probably see from space. It was there were a lot of colours on it. And Lee Bryant said to him, "What shirt are you wearing, Northie?" And he said, "I'm not going to do his accent. I think I'll wear my Northie shirt, because apparently he's only got one with its nickname on the back." And he said it's not in the greatest condition. There are a few loose threads, but he feels it's lucky. So that says to me he's a superstitious player. I tell you what, if you're going to win this game, you might have to wash it tonight, Richard, because it's looking good so far.
Yeah, no loose threads about the way he's been playing here.
60.
Like I say, not a spectacular average by any means, but it's more than enough at the moment against Mickey Mansell, who
35.
needs to find something. I mean, that might give him some encouragement. He needs to take any advantage or make the most of any gifts that come his way. And a break of throw here
100.
might just be the kickstart that he needs.
Well, Northie here will be definitely looking for a 140 to give himself the opportunity to a 2-darter to take the match out, but he'll want another treble. Gets it. So just in case Mickey Mansell can't take this 116, 96 is very gettable.
Yeah, and that brings him down to a 2-dart finish as well, does Richard North. But Mansell here, well, limited options. I don't think that's found its way in, has it? No.
78.
Well, you got 97 in the last leg.
Richard, you
Pinged it in 2 darts.
96.
Wiping his hand a bit. It's getting a little bit sweaty up there. But double 18 will see him through. Will we be seeing an interview with Elmore in a minute?
60.
Not yet.
Mickey require 38.
Well, if Mickey Mansell finishes things off, Richard North may well be reflecting on those 2 opportunities at double 18 later on today. But he will return, because that's the danger.
22, thank you.
Yeah, 1 or 2
Richard, you require 36.
rather unpleasant cheers when Mansell fluffed his line there. North, though, looking at double 18 once again. That's nudged the wire, getting closer.
Game shot.
And closer still.
And the match, Richard North.
And it's a winning debut for Richard North.
Come to me. Congratulations. Happy with your game? With my finishing, scoring wasn't there tonight, but no, he finished well when he missed. So yeah, I'll take that all day long, really. My first European, crowd were great. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was when I was introducing you. I said it's your first European tour event. It's different, huh, to the normal Pro Tour.
Yeah, it's a lot different. It's like you're at the World Championship here with these crowd. They're brilliant. So yeah, I loved it. I loved every minute of it, and I'm going to enjoy every time I got on here.
It will be much more packed tomorrow. Mervyn King is waiting.
Yeah, I've played Merv once in the Pro Tour. He kind of turned me over, but I might get my revenge hopefully. But no, Merv's a nice guy, great guy, and he's been a top player for a long time because he's good. So, but I fancy an upset.
Are you satisfied with your first year on the PDC circuit? You get the tour card this year. You played a lot of events, I saw.
Yeah, I got my tour card in January. I just love playing with the top pros. I love the stage, so yeah, so it's brilliant. But,
Good to have you here. Thank you very much, Richard. Richard North.